blast off.
Hey, welcome to a bold and distant future. And at this time, I'd like to welcome all other pertinent government agencies joining us at this time.
Excellent. Who do you think might be joining us?
And we have nothing to hide. Well, at least I don't. I don't know about the rest of you guys. But I don't know. I think they're listening.
I got to confess that I was out with a really big ladder and black garbage bags last night doing a little work with the flock cameras.
Just tidying up things around the base, right?
My name is Roy, and that was Eddie speaking, just to let you know. Yeah, those flock cameras, boy, it's becoming a national pastime. And we're watching that closely here in the channel, how people are going after the flock cameras. We have a whole episode on it and some interesting visuals, so we'll take a look at that a little later in the show.
I'll save my comment for then.
Yeah. How to dismantle a flock camera.
I saw an interesting... Well, never mind. I'll save that for the...
tell us later. Hey, Texas is banning books, and they're coming for the librarians. I don't know if you know... Have you ever seen this fellow? Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick?
Yes, I know.
He is the most horrible guy. My God. He is like... Where the hell did he ever come from?
He came from talk radio like Rush Limbaugh.
Oh, man.
Oh, there you go.
He gets out there like an old school marm scolding the people. He was doing one thing on marijuana and edible drugs and telling everyone, shaming them. You would take this, don't take this, you'll go crazy. It was just like
we're coming for the books. We're coming for, not only are we coming for the books, we're coming for mind control.
Good news, though, on the Texas front. I ran into a gentleman from Austin, Texas, who was here for the weekend for the half marathon. And he said there's Hinojosa, who's the Democratic gubernatorial candidate, is now polling neck and neck with Abbott. So that's pretty remarkable, too, in light of Tallarico.
Rock on.
Yeah.
Well, Stars and Stripes reporters were fired, 3 of them. 1 editor, 2 reporters, I believe.
Wow.
And it's Stars and Stripes is a military publication. It's online and used to be in paper, but they're supposed to be, what's the word? Untouchable. The Pentagon's not supposed to have power over them.
Right.
Any editorial power. But they're firing these people because I think they were writing things maybe about the Straits of Hormuz that the Pentagon didn't like.
Yeah, and the USS Alabama, I bet, yeah.
So it's just blatant censorship.
Yep.
This is happening, I believe, in Colorado, and I was hoping one of our voices here would help us fill in the blanks on this one, but apparently they're rounding up these wild horses, and I think Jane was talking a little bit about it on our chat, about how it's a normal thing they do on Bureau of Land Management land, maybe, but it's just so heartbreaking to see, these beautiful animals being carted away and then sent off to slaughter somewhere. I heard to Canada.
Yeah, that's sickening. It made me think of the destruction of the buffalo herds, as a war strategy to eliminate their food source. And so now we take that same mindset and say, all right, these horses are inconvenient. Let's kill them. Let's destroy them.
It's actually not just Colorado. It's New Mexico, Wyoming, Montana, and Colorado, all the way up to the Canadian border.
Oh, this slide is out of place. It relates to the previous story, but it's from Project 2025, and this is a quote: educators and public librarians who purvey it, I guess literature, should be classified as registered sex offenders.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's the thing, they want to limit what you can read, but currently, and this is another thought we should maybe get a handle on, currently the internet can provide you with information that they're trying to ban, also opinion pieces that people are writing about this that they wouldn't like to have out on the regular mainstream media. That's something we maybe should consider talking about.
Good idea. This is something you should pick up if you haven't picked up an issue of Rolling Stone magazine. There's an article in there about these, what were they called? There was a name for them, I can't remember.
The Minnesota protesters?
No, they weren't Minnesota. They were the ones out in Texas who have been given these really strict sentences for protesting on July 4th. Anyway, interesting article. This is interesting. If you haven't followed the Lincoln Project on YouTube, it's run by Rick Wilson, and the Lincoln Project, you probably know about it, are Republicans who have kind of turned away from Trump. Well, he has an interview with Hunter Biden, which is just so Hunter Biden is so refreshing. If you ever hear him talk, he's making the rounds talking to lots of people, but he's so refreshing because he just doesn't BS anything. He doesn't sugarcoat. He's not running for office. He doesn't have to be careful. He just tells it like it is. And it's a refreshing voice to hear if you haven't watched any Hunter Biden interviews lately.
So you're just saying that his interviews are kind of like listening to A Bold and Distant Future?
I would think so. He's brutal. I mean, he was addicted to drugs, and he talks openly about his addiction and about his failings as a person and about his family. And boy, it's a pretty kind of inspirational take. Michael Cohen, have you been following this?
This was kind of disappointing.
Yeah, he's turned back to the dark side again, you know?
I'm like, come on. He wants a piece of the pie.
Yeah, he was Trump's lawyer for 12 years. He was like Trump's fixer. He would make problems go away with money or whatever, and Stormy Daniels and things like that. And then he served time. He was in prison for almost a year, but now he's had Trump on his talk show last week, and he was calling him sir and boss, and they were reminiscing and
yucking it up.
Yeah, it was pretty ugly. He's been both a Democrat and a Republican, now a Democrat again. He's a shapeshifter, but this is something he said during a Senate hearing. His quote, "I am ashamed that I chose to take part in concealing Mr. Trump's illicit acts rather than listening to my own conscience. I am ashamed because I know what Mr. Trump is. He is a racist, he is a con man, and he is a cheat."
So when was this said in relationship to the interview?
This was said in 2019.
Oh, okay, there
so
you
it
go.
was a while ago. This was as he was going down and as these charges were being filed against him.
So perhaps at this point, he's not so ashamed. He wants to get back into good graces so he can get a slice of the pie.
Well, he's been disbarred.
Yeah.
And so he wants to pardon, so I think he can get his law practice back going again.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, but he's he's the worst example of what a lawyer is, you know.
I was going to say, if he got his law practice back, would we see him on billboards suggesting that we call him if we get in an accident? I mean, what else is he going to do?
He wants some of that big Republican lawsuit money that's going around, I guess. I don't know. Gee, anyway.
But if he has actually gone back to the Democratic side, I hope he knows that there's a blue wave coming, and he doesn't really want to be on that other side.
Yeah, definitely. Well, this woman, Natalie Harp, has been making all of the news feeds that I'm seeing. She's Trump's personal body man.
This has to be AI.
Yeah, I put an AI disclaimer up there, and everyone thinks it's kind of funny, fecal attraction, but she's a seriously twisted person, I would say, because she was homeschooled. She's a Christian evangelical, and she worships Donald Trump, but she has that, as in the movie Fatal Attraction, she has this blind love that is just so, a lot of rumors surrounding their relationship. Apparently, she was caught. And John Ossoff mentioned it just briefly in one of his speeches about how Trump doesn't go anywhere without Natalie. And boy, that set off a Republican firestorm.
Yahoo.
Yeah.
But it's apparently true, too. So
apparently.
He apparently hit a painful nail on the head.
Well, I heard Trump calls her my Natalie. And she was caught in the residence one night where normally the residence is only where the family goes, but they were in there working on something late one night.
Working on something.
Yes.
I like that terminology.
This is in the book Regime Change. Some of the stories have come out about Natalie Harp. So
I also heard she is called by others Trump's security blanket. For what that's worth. My blankie.
What is that? Like a safety animal or whatever they call it?
Oh, yeah.
He just needs his ego massaged 24/7,
There's that.
And she's the perfect candidate. I mean, she's unvetted, apparently, and she was let into this position without any kind of oversight. And a lot of
Doesn't
people...
that sound like most of the people working for the administration?
Yeah.
I think they're vetted to some degree. She had zero vetting. Well, this is our segment called Primary 2026, and the only thing that happened was a runoff ballot that they had in South Carolina to see who the Senate candidate would be, and Darlene Graham won. So she is the Senate candidate, the Republican senatorial candidate.
I think we
South
should
Carolina.
start investigating the voting procedures on this. I believe that there was probably some
Shenanigans?
hanky-panky.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I want to recount. I want to look at the voting machines. What else could I?
Well, look at the numbers. I mean, she was running against a fellow called Ralph Norman, and he wasn't too far behind. He
Well,
was
he should
175.
have changed his name
Yeah.
to Rex Norman.
Mm-hmm.
That would have
Yeah,
done it.
Ralph doesn't sound powerful enough.
No.
But
That
what
sounds
would,
like something you do when you drink too much.
what will those 175 people vote for in the election? Will they flip over to Darlene Graham, or will they go blue? Who knows? They'll probably fold together as they normally do. But they've got big numbers. If
Why are they pink now? Because they didn't reach the red stage?
I think so. I think it's just a color indicator to show who won.
I mean, they're all Republican votes, right?
Yeah. So the Democrat side is here, and you can see the Democrats have a sizable amount of votes too, and Annie Andrews is going up against Darlene Graham.
So I like that better. I'm going with Annie, but I think what we should do is crunch those numbers, because if you take those two figures from the Republican side and these three figures here and put them together, it looks like
It's
just
close.
from a casual glance that the Democrats aren't going to make a grade on this. So how can we push it up?
It has to do with people being just, unhappy with Darlene Graham, because I don't know if you've seen any of the clips of her speaking.
Yeah.
It was a Senate
Foreign
Senate
policy
hearing.
is not my thing.
Yeah. It's like, what? She was given this position just as a gesture of goodwill in some ways, or I don't know what, to keep the place warm.
I know they spun a story that it's happened before where relatives are given the position of, somebody that died.
Yeah, but you would think the voters of South Carolina would have a degree of resentment about her getting that position and not having earned it. That's the thing. But again, I don't know
That's the
that.
kind of storyline they're getting for so many people. We have an entire administration that doesn't have experience. So
Yeah.
well, this is one of those things where you get on-the-job experience, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Learn on the job. Hey, this is the book, The Nerd Reich, that I think Scooter's reading it, and I found an infographic about it. So it's about a 2-minute clip that we'll take a look at and listen to, and there might be a little bit of time to talk about it afterwards. So I hope you can hear this. Give it your best shot.
The Nerd Reich by Gil Duran in 2 minutes. For years, Silicon Valley sold technology as a way to free people from old institutions. Gil Duran argues that for a powerful group of tech billionaires and thinkers, that dream evolved into something more radical, escaping democracy itself. The story begins with Peter Thiel. In the late 1990s, Thiel became deeply influenced by The Sovereign Individual, a book predicting that digital technology and private money would weaken nation-states and allow a wealthy technological elite to operate beyond government. Thiel built PayPal, invested in Facebook, co-founded Palantir, and increasingly treated technology as an alternative to politics. In 2009, he wrote that he no longer believed freedom and democracy were compatible. Then came Curtis Yarvin. Writing as Mencius Moldbug, Yarvin argued that democracy was beyond repair. He imagined replacing governments with corporations run by CEO, like dictators, and proposed RAGE, retire all government employees, to purge the existing state. These ideas sounded fringe, but Thiel supported Yarvin, and other Silicon Valley figures began repackaging similar ideas in the language of startups. Balaji Srinivasan called his version Exit. Instead of reforming a country, he argued, people could use technology to leave it and build privately governed network states. Seastead's private city projects and crypto communities tried to turn these ideas into reality. Then politics caught up. Duran argues that Silicon Valley's rightward shift accelerated during the pandemic, as Elon Musk rebelled against government restrictions and tech elites increasingly saw democratic institutions as obstacles. By the 2024 election, major tech money had moved toward Donald Trump. Musk spent heavily helping Trump return to power. Thiel's network reached the White House through David Sachs and, most importantly, J.D. Vance, whom Thiel had backed for years. For Duran, what followed was more than billionaires supporting a friendly president. It was a merger of technological power with state power. AI, crypto, surveillance software, defense technology, social media, and government contracts became connected to the same network of wealthy insiders. That is what Duran calls tech fascism. His central warning is that these men do not simply want less government. They want systems of government they can own, design, and control. The Nerdreich is ultimately about what happens when people who built platforms begin to believe society itself should be run like one. The danger, Duran argues, is not that technology will accidentally destroy democracy. It is that some of the people controlling the technology may decide democracy is what they want to replace.
Amazing summary.
Crazy, huh?
And if we had not heard all from Studer, then we might be thinking, oh, sounds a little fringe, but no, this is the heart of the matter.
Isn't it? Yeah.
It is the heart of the matter. It's kind of like what we were talking about before the show began.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Humans are just, we don't react to things unless there's a tangible evidence of that in our face, and think the flock cameras are that tangible thing that people dislike about the surveillance state. All this other stuff is like, it's the mist.
That kind of stuff is connected to what's happening with Palantir and the coalescence of all data for everyone in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Palantir is part of the surveillance state, although I don't think they're related to flock cameras directly, are they?
That's not a picture of me last night, is it?
Oh my God, Eddie, we got you on camera. Are you a flock camera repairman?
Yeah. That's a new up-and-coming job opportunity, which is the flock camera technician, public technician in the field.
Who's paying for the flock cameras? That's what I want to know. Are the counties and states paying for them that they're installed in? They're not put in by private companies, are they? It's interesting.
I believe they are put in by private companies, but the people that use the data probably have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Well, here's a question. Take a guess, how many flock cameras are there in the United States?
Oh my God.
Take a wild guess.
There's 4,000 in San Francisco. I mean, how can we even begin to estimate that?
Did you say 4,000?
No, I think I heard 400, 500. I don't know if that number's right. I'll double check that, but...
Wait a minute.
I heard 400 or 500. Take a wild off the top of your head guess. How many do you think? You have any guesses? Uh-oh, I lost somebody. You still there, Craig?
Yes. No, I wouldn't guess at all. I think 400 would be excessive.
I think there are about 400 or 500 in the city, but in the United States in total, there are 120,000 flock cameras.
Wow.
Yeah, quite a lot. So Eddie's got a big job, man. If he's going to start taking these things down one by one, this could be a full-time job for him.
You know what? I think we should either visit Ukraine or invite Ukrainians over who are specialists in drone technology and design drones that could go right up to a camera, and then its right paw or pincher, it would have a spray paint can and just break it down, move on to the next, and the next, and the next. So in a night, you could take care of 400.
I'm right with you. Let's do it.
Yep.
Who do you know that has drone awareness?
Yeah.
A bold and distant future does not support the demolition of private property. But look what people are doing. This is what's happening out there. People are destroying these cameras, and they're making videos about it all over the place.
Yeah.
But they're wisely staying masked and
not driving their car anywhere near us.
No.
Yeah.
Do they all have that big red sign?
I don't know.
Oh, I like the guy in the tux. That's a very classy act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is happening. It's, again, America's new pastime.
You know how the TikTokers have challenges that are seemingly crazy, go touch a senior citizen on the left earlobe.
I like this guy selling the cutoff wheel.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. And a Sawzall.
Or Sawzall.
He's showing, he times the amount of time it takes to cut through this. So each one's got a different time. The Sawzall wasn't the most efficient way.
Yeah.
Apparently the circular saw with a certain blade on it works best.
Yeah, those cutoff wheels are incredibly fast. 1 minute, 18 seconds.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
So this is where we're at. Kind of a depressing state of affairs.
It sure is. Yeah.
There's one state that doesn't have any flock cameras.
Which
But-
state is that?
And we don't know. I Googled it. I've not
I
figured that
believe
out.
it is a state of awareness.
The flock literature that they put out doesn't reveal which state does not have any cameras. But there's one state, only in 49 states.
That being said, there is that site, I believe I put it up on our feed a few weeks ago, where you can find out how many flock cameras you have in your area. So, if you wanted to take the time and say,
I'm going to check it out.
you know what I'm saying? But I think that goes city to city. You got to put in a zip code or something to find out, what's in the area. I was shocked to see how many there were. Delighted to know there were none in the two smaller towns just west of that I am most currently frequenting.
Good, Eddie. Well, hey, guess what? Al Green has filed impeachment papers against Donald Trump again for the second time.
Yeah.
Now,
Is that this morning?
this is like a day or yesterday? Day before?
I didn't see that in the mainstream media. I wonder why.
But what's interesting here, we'll take a look at his 4 main points in the filing, and you can find that online. It was the 24th, so a couple of days ago. One is enabling ICE and CBP to act as judge, jury, prosecutor, and executioner when assaulting and committing unjustified killings with impunity in violation of the Fifth Amendment right to due process. These are the big, bold points, and there are 4 main ones that he thinks are impeachable offenses.
Yep, that's definitely right there.
That's huge. Yep.
Yeah. So I just wanted to broadcast out the 4 main points so we could take a look at them. Again, I don't know when. I think it may have already been knocked down in terms of it won't be submitted for vote even. But he filed the resolution anyway. Here's 2. Enabling ICE and CBP to operate with anonymity and secrecy to terrorize communities in violation of the Fourth Amendment protection against unreasonable searches and seizures and the Fifth Amendment right to due process.
Yeah. Just the anonymity and secrecy alone is a violation of the Fourth.
Right.
Let's take that back to flock cameras.
Yeah. Same idea. Yeah.
Is definitely.
Yeah.
I did just run across a really interesting little bit for you, Roy. Police suspended flock camera network access following improper queries, apparently by the police department.
I don't know. Here's 3. Enabling ICE and CBP to undermine civil liberties and basic freedom of speech in violation of the First Amendment right to free speech.
Indeed, that is definitely true.
Yeah.
And
we don't even have to talk about how hay bales might undermine their movements, but
Yep. Even
could
just
be part of the blue wave.
just even armed presence, at a voting area, that dampens.
Well,
or
that and the
harms
fact
freedom of
that
speech.
all of them are masked up.
Yeah, and then they can also remove voters from the line as they're awaiting their opportunity to vote.
So, going back to that first one where they're moving with impunity, that is not procedurally, that is absolutely not part of our current governing oversight.
Yep.
Here's the last one. 4. Undermining judicial oversight by flouting the separation of powers.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is online. It's available. It's pretty easy to find. It's about, I want to say 25, 30 pages long, but you can read how they flesh out each one of these 4 points in the larger document.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's
so-
really great. And I was thinking this morning, too, there needs to be another mechanism. And of course, this would need to be an amendment to the Constitution. But this concept of impeachment is beholden to parties, to the partisan narrowness of our politics. And instead, I was thinking there needs to be impeachment or, forced resignation. Because impeachment indicates somehow that there has to be a 2/3 majority of Congress to say, this is such a violation. And as long as you allow partisan politics to determine that outcome, then you have no potential for removing a person who's not doing their job or harming the country, which is exactly what Trump has been doing. And yet there's no remedy to that other than electing another person into office, after the damage is done. So I'm hoping, it's a long shot, that, my God, maybe we need to have a series of amendments coming forth, going back to ERA, and now it's saying, no, you cannot do this. you are not allowed to. You break the law when you do this. Such that if another example might be if you, as the president, decide that you're not going to peacefully transition into the next person, then you can be arrested within 30 days. That's simple. So people going in the office don't see that there's opportunity to exploit the vagueness or simplicity of some of the statements that are made in the Constitution.
Well, exacerbating that problem is that we have House of Representatives and U.S. Congress that has absolutely no backbone when it comes to enforcing the constitutional rights of Americans.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just glad he filed that resolution for impeachment just so it's there as a matter of record, and that it doesn't seem like the Democrats are doing anything. Everyone's complaining, but at least something was said. Something was, someone tried something.
Cox Richardson, what's her first name? Heather. I listened to her yesterday, and she was talking about answering that question to her followers about, there's a lot of work done by the Democrats. What it is in building a new political infrastructure. So they're out and about, they're talking to people, and they're putting forward new retaining walls and new structures that will be implemented once Trump is out of office and there's a Democratic majority. And so a lot of it isn't public yet because it's still in that stage of talking about, discussing, designing what it might look like. But they need to go ahead and create a common message now that says this is what we stand for, and then continue to do that work, that subversive work behind the scenes.
Yeah. Let's hope that blue wave kicks in and maybe some changes will happen.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've seen in the news, but there was just a horrific tsunami of water that fell upon the Nepalese and Chinese border. And it was a huge tsunami. And that's when I think blue wave, that's what I see, the idea that it just washes away all of that fetid, corrupt experience that we've had. But I don't want to see a blue wave that's just, curling and peaking at 2 feet on a sandy shore. It's got to be fearsome to make the change that's needed.
You mean a blue tsunami?
Yeah, there you go.
That could be our new motto. That being said, we should encourage, once again, even outside of your own state, make donations to candidates that are, perhaps needing that extra boost.
Right.
I know we sent money to James Tallarico and John Ossoff, and I know there's more that we should donate to. And Tallarico's online now saying, just donate $1.
Yeah. Yeah, a person like Angie Nixon, who's going up against the Republican candidate in Florida, just get her in office. There you've got a progressive mindset
Annie,
that can really change things.
Maybe we want to get some money behind Annie in South Carolina.
Yeah, exactly.
That
Good
one
idea.
too.
Yeah.
Well, they are running scared in a way because there's a big Republican rally, I guess, happening in Dallas very soon, and Trump will be there one night and J.D. Vance will be there the other night, and that's planned in the next month or so. I've got to get the date on it, which means I think they're nervous.
Well, Tallarico's running neck and neck.
Yeah, and so that's the governor's candidate. Yeah,
it's actually surprising considering who he's up against and the moral track record of that guy. Let's not even go there, but
I'm with you. Yeah, it shouldn't be neck and neck. It should be that Tallarico is leading by a little, but showing that you have a moral backbone as a state and that you're willing to go ahead and say change is needed.
The thing is in a way, this is the death knell for what's going on up on Capitol Hill, because they know that the sentiment in the country is swinging.
Mm-hmm.
And the dissatisfaction with what's going on with the war in Iran and gas prices and food prices and everything else connected, energy prices, the list goes on and on. And all of that was, as you recall, was on day one. That's coming down. You remember the mantra.
Yeah, one day I'll take them all down.
And that has not happened at all. And it's gone the other way fairly significantly. So, of course, they're running scared.
Mm-hmm.
But anyone that has a moral conscience, as I said earlier, send $1, send $5, send 25 if you're feeling flush. You know?
Yeah. I like the idea, Eddie, of choosing a host of people that you you can send a little bit too, 4, 5, 6, 7 places, and spread it out the wealth and make an impact, and then encourage others to do it. Great idea. I'm going to do that.
That's good advice. Thank you, Eddie. And thank you, Eddie and Craig, for being here, and we look forward to talking to you again next time. Boy, this was a full week of news, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I'm just going to say, make sure you get that little piece about Canada in there, because I think this is an important thing to consider.
Yeah, I think you're right. Hey, thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of the dialogue here at Bold and Distant Future. And we'll see you again next time. Thank you.
Thank you, Roy.
All right. Bye-bye.
Awesome.
Have a great week, you guys.
You too.
You too. Bye.